Hello, everyone. Is everybody good? We are now in May. May the 2nd, it was full moon in Scorpio on May the 1st. Well, here it's literally just gone past midnight, so you lot are still in May the 1st, probably wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining me, folks. A few interesting revelations today. Hope you are all well. Hey TV Oud, hey April May, hey Maria Della Torre, Maggie. I am actually going to try and set myself a challenge this May. I don't know how this is going to go, but I actually want to try and do 2 podcasts a day. Like maybe a long one and a short one. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? It's more just a challenge than like, you know, anything that's like hugely necessary. But sometimes I feel like I do just get lazy and I don't want to be lazy. So maybe this will push me to be more active. All right, let's get into it. TV Oud, what are you saying wow about? Are you saying wow about the new Diana revelations? Well, we don't actually know what the revelations are yet, or how revelatory they will be. But yes, new audios from the Andrew Morton interview will be released. Apparently, in the original ones that were released and that are publicly available already, that is only some of what was in those tapes. Am I surprised they kept some to roll some out some years later? 30th anniversary, which is coming up, 40th anniversary, 50th anniversary? No. But it's rather, it'll be rather interesting to hear what was said. Also, Andrew Morton was burglarized. So goodness knows what, you know, else was in other tapes that could have gotten stolen or whatever. But let's start with the People story. This is the follow-up that People magazine did with, the follow-up for the Australia tour. Rather annoying for Charles that this got published literally while he's giving speeches and, you know, doing his whole thing shabing bing with Trump, but it is what it is. People are more interested in Harry and Meghan, so, you know, they had to do this special. Their bottom line is what matters the most. Okay, I have to actually... Oh, the article isn't loading for me. Give me 1 sec, folks. Oh, okay, now I know why the article isn't loading. Let's try that again. Okay, here we go. So sources close to the Sussexes push back on all of the half-in royal drama. I mean, drama to who at this point? Losers who are still interested in listening to lies? Oh, wow, that you want to take on 2 podcasts a day. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I always try to catch up as much as possible when I'm not consistent, but I really want to get into the habit of being consistent again. Like there was a time on this podcast where I would literally never miss a day. But it's just hard because I've got other things going on, but I don't want that to be an excuse for not being consistent. Like I want to get consistent again. We'll see how it goes. I'm just thinking out loud, TV. I'm just thinking out loud. Hey Helen, happy holiday weekend. Okay, so let's read this article. It's quite something that People magazine decided to put a huge Sussex exclusive on their cover this week. The cover story dropped on Wednesday, which was Prince William and Kate's 15th wedding anniversary. I didn't even know that was happening. Oh yeah, they released a picture, didn't they? Of course. How could I not notice something so irrelevant? Here you go. What am I talking about? I actually do have the picture. I just completely forgot about it. There's the picture. William and Kate's 15th wedding anniversary squandered all their good faith and were lazy for all of these 15 years. Anyway, it is quite a cute family picture. This is genuinely the happiest and most relaxed and real I have actually seen Kate and William. It definitely helps that they have the kids there and the dog just to lighten the mood, because if it's just Kate and William by themselves, they look miserable. I think their kids make them very happy. And that tends to be the case, even when you've got a shaky marriage. But when William and Kate are alone, oh, you can cut the atmosphere with a knife. Anyway, back to the People article. Yeah. The cover story also dropped in the middle of King Charles's state visit. That being said, I understand the immediacy of the exclusive, which is all about Harry and Meghan's recent travels and how they're effectively acting as half-in royals. This piece is well sourced from Team Sussex, and it contains a lot of positive quotes about Harry and Meghan, while still including some criticism from royal commentators. So some highlights. During an unannounced visit to Ukraine, Harry was asked whether he recognised the label "not a working royal." No, he said, "I will always be part of the royal family. I'm here working, doing the things I was born to do." In Australia, where Harry's father, King Charles, is head of state, the Sussexes spent 4 days in April moving through engagements that echoed an official royal tour, from hospital visits to moments of remembrance, while also embracing the independent income-generating model that now underpins their work. I understand Harry's sentiment, like, yeah, he will always be a member of the royal family. And I think he was pushing back and treading carefully when he said, "I will always be part of the royal family." But I don't believe that the institution should get to enjoy any of the shine that, Harry or Meghan bring. When Harry and Meghan do something good, it should be something that Harry and Meghan have done good, not something that the other royals in the institution can benefit from or be seen as doing something good. It's what Harry and Meghan are doing. And if anything, Harry and Meghan have created the blueprint for what modern, if we're going to have royals, what modern royals should look like and what they should be doing. Certainly not sponging off the British taxpayer. Certainly not covering up for nefarious individuals. So non-working royals doing work is deeply contentious. They are pushing the envelope and making it much more difficult for reconciliation to happen. I mean, pushing the envelope and making it more difficult for reconciliation to happen, that's the focus here. Not pushing the envelope and making it ever more obvious that the other royals do nothing. That's the actual problem here. How can you sit here and say they're making it difficult for reconciliation? Meanwhile, they're doing actual impactful work for others. What this tells me is that the palace and those within the palace walls are very jealous of the fact that Harry and Meghan are doing the work that they're doing without taxpayer-funded money and looking after themselves. That's the real contentious issue here. Where you got people like Valentine Lowe, this loser, Rotarat, talking about how the monarchy is meant to be above politics. I find it so interesting that they try to use the whole thing about the monarchy being above politics, and this is what the late Queen wanted to avoid. Like, that is some kind of, like, winning line, when in this moment in time, being apolitical, being silent is a form of violence. So I don't know why they keep saying, "Oh, the Queen would not have wanted this," like it's some kind of win. Your silence is compliance. Um, let's have a look. What else? Um, yeah, it's just but I mean, the article says that this is well sourced from the Sussex people, but I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. There was a part that says at home in Montecito, work is scheduled around school hours, weekends are for family time. I mean, that's not really much of an exclusive, is it? Like any normal people do that. Anyway, they also quoted a lot of Rotaracts in this article. So yeah, I wouldn't, now that I've actually read this, because I didn't really know the content of this so-called people exclusive, they quote a lot of royalists, actually. You know, at what point does the royal establishment just admit they lost? Not only that they effed up and completely misjudged the situation from the word go. You know? And even asking, they go as far as asking, is Harry and Meghan's lifestyle sustainable? Like Harry and Meghan are going to blow through $150 million or whatever it is they're worth at this point. We don't actually know. Could even be more. That like they just blow through all that overnight. You know why I think they believe that Harry and Meghan would be capable of blowing 150 million overnight is because that's what the other royals do. That's another reason. I've literally only just thought about this. It's projection. The reason they believe that Harry and Meghan are going to go broke overnight is projection. Because people like Sarah Ferguson were begging for money from Epstein. Because William is selling off all the assets. The millions they get from the duchy and the British taxpayers still isn't enough. God, I don't know why I didn't think about this part sooner, actually. I didn't think about this part of the equation. They believe that Harry and Meghan are going to go broke because the other royals are cash broke. Even with the millions they get, they squander it. One day we're going to get some William tapes. Because I know that man has many confessions. If he ever has the backbone to make them. Anyway, yeah, that's the People article. See what you're saying in the comments. They're gonna also do a spin-off of The Crown. And it's gonna be from I think the Queen Elizabeth the First reign or something. I mean, are they gonna do that and do an honest depiction of it with all of the colonial BS? Or a very sanitized version? Because to be honest, most of The Crown is a very sanitized version. It's going to focus on the series will span from Queen Victoria's death in 1901 to Queen Elizabeth II's wedding in 1947. I feel like there's just so many more interesting parts of royal history that they could do. Granted, you know, period dramas are very expensive. But I just feel like there's more interesting parts. I feel like they should go even further back in time, actually. All right, let's read your comments and then we'll get on to the next thing. Hi, if you're just entering the chat, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. And also, apparently, when you hit that thumbs up button, you also see a hype button. Hit the hype button. Let the algorithm know we're here. Wendy, you said, I guess these two mediocre rules will spend the rest of their lives as king and queen, copying Harry and Meghan. Probably. Nice to see you, Wendy. Lottie, you said, William and Kate have no self-esteem. All they do is copy off of Harry and Meghan. I wonder what kind of king would he be, because he doesn't have any ideas of his own. We're going to find out. In 1 or 2 decades, we're going to find out. Helen, you said, William selling off the assets is not allegedly to pay the legal fees of a certain wicked woman. Legal fees of a certain wicked woman. Who's the wicked woman? Sorry, I'm a bit lost. Sam, you said in this country you need to work, so Megan will keep on hustling. And hustling is what she's always done and done it very well. Instead of waiting tables as a struggling actress, she was doing calligraphy. Nice to have you here also, Wendy. Caterpillar, you said we will see the name change from House of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha to Windsor, maybe. Listen, one thing about The Crown that I do like is the costumes, the cinematography, the set designs, the acting is always on point, to be honest. It's only in the more recent series it kind of went down, like in the last one, the very last series, it went a bit downhill. But otherwise, it is one of the best produced shows going. And with period dramas, you gotta do it right or don't do it at all. It's very easy for a period drama to look very cheap and poorly done. The Crown has always been well done. The only problem that I have with it is it tends to sanitize the monarchy and its history. Okay. Next thing. Let's look at, yeah, Americans don't care. Americans really don't care about the trip. And to be honest, why would they? Why would they care? Like there aren't a few other more important things going on in America? Now, to the 32% that apparently did care. To the 32% that apparently did care. Were you hoping that maybe they'd come with the horse carriages and the crowns and you'd get to see the pomp and pageantry? Because to the 32% that did care, why did you care? Why did you care? So, the BBC tried to call this a mojo comeback. A comeback from what? If you're a king, there should be no comebacks. You should be interesting enough as king for people to be just paying attention to you, period. Emily Mantlis said Charles lifted us all up a bit. Who's us? Who's us? Who is us, ma'am? Meanwhile, back on planet Earth, CNN's chief data analyst, Harry Enten, dropped a bucket load of cold water on the whole fairy tale. Just 32% of Americans care, 63% we don't care. We've had enough of royal news. That was Enten on CNN News Central, right in the middle of Charles's big American moment. The numbers came from an Ipsos poll, and they were brutal. Let me repeat that for the royal correspondents in the back. Nearly 2/3 of Americans do not care about UK royal news. Not they hate it, not they're ambivalent, they have had enough. Because the media wants you to believe that America is obsessed. The same America that had the second biggest protest ever recorded in US history against the orange clown currently in power. That America would care about Charles coming to the US like there aren't bigger issues to deal with. BBC ran a piece titled, "Had the Royals Got Their Mojo Back from the US Visit?" They quoted a historian calling it a state visit for the ages. They highlighted 12 standing ovations in Congress, and they made it sound like Charles had just won the Super Bowl. Well, of course Congress would give him a standing ovation. They were told to. It's just diplomatic politeness. Nothing else. Except Americans actually watch the Super Bowl. Exactly. Super Bowl is definitely more interesting. Enten pointed out that Charles's coronation drew about 10 million US viewers across multiple channels. The Super Bowl, 126 million on one network. I do not believe for a second that 10 million Americans watch Charles's coronation. I don't. I refuse to believe that. What evidence is there of this? The Super Bowl, that is 12 6 times as many people choosing to watch the football game over a king getting a hat. CNN also asked about a hypothetical US monarchy. Only 2% of independents, 4% of Republicans, and 4% of Democrats said that that would be a good thing. And you want me to believe that 10 million people watched Charles's coronation? Enter noted that 12% of Americans believe the US faked the moon landing. So more people believe in a fake moon landing than they want a king. Well, there you go. It's quite interesting. Almost an equal amount of Democrats and Republicans, only 4% still, would want a king. So what made them think that they would be interested in Charles coming over? Town and Country sent a reporter to Charles's 9/11 memorial visit in New York. The headline, "Unbothered Tourists Take in Charles's Visit." The reporter said that at several points, it felt like there were more journalists and cops than bystanders. I mean, would that surprise me? More journalists, cops, bystanders, and barricades. The barricades have only been able to do their job at Harry and Meghan's visit in Australia. Tourists from Australia, Austria, Portland, and California were annoyed their memorial visit was disrupted. One man from Melbourne said, "That's really annoyed me." A woman from Wales joked that Charles was following her. High school students were more interested in seeing the mayor than the king. Only one person, a 66-year-old woman from Staten Island, came on purpose. She left work early and took the ferry. Everyone else, bystanders who stumbled into the barricade. But here is where the double standard becomes impossible to ignore. When Harry and Meghan drew massive frenzied crowds at their quasi-royal tour of Australia, the British press called it desperate, attention-seeking, and inappropriate. They were accused of using royal status for personal gain. The same outlets that now hype Charles's 12 standing ovations in a room full of politicians who are paid to applaud, exactly, once mocked the Sussexes for having actual public enthusiasm. And that's the bit that's really cutting them deep. CNN's polling numbers cut through all the pageantry. And you know what? These are the same people who like to have all these YouGov polls, these emotional support YouGov polls, will ignore this poll completely. Because it doesn't suit their narrative. Americans are not deeply invested in royal news. They never were. A royal drama, I think we're all invested. From America to China, across the globe, we're all invested in royal drama. Royal news? For what? The media just keeps pretending because the monarchy is a product that needs selling. King Charles can give speeches, he can charm Congress, he can get standing ovations from people who want something from him. But the American public, they have already changed the channel. And no amount of velvet glove diplomacy is going to make Americans care about a king they fought a revolution to get rid of. That is not a special relationship. That is a one-sided obsession. And the numbers do not lie, exactly. Because what do you mean I care about the king that I fought a whole revolution to get rid of? And right now, there's about to be a revolution to remove the self-imposed king that's currently in power. Oh, hilarious. I hope that one lady who came all the way to see Trump got to see her Kang. Caterpillar, you said season 5 and 6 wasn't as good. Seemed like the palace reached out to Netflix. That's honestly what it felt like. Lotta, you said, does anyone know how did Harry's court case went? I prayed to God that he would have put the Daily Fire out of business. Well, the court case that Harry is part of is part of a wider court case, and I think it's still ongoing. So we'll know with time. Yeah, Americans cared about Diana. That's what they care about. Okay, and speaking of Diana, let's get on to that. Let's open the article. Obviously, the 30th anniversary of her death is coming. So every news channel is going to be making yet another documentary. But this one right here might be the only legitimate one because it's sourced with Diana's words herself. So, towards the end of Princess Diana's marriage in 1991, Diana instinctively understood that she needed to get her side out there by any means necessary. Ooh, I don't think the picture's showing on the screen. Partly because she couldn't keep it all bottled up, and partly because she couldn't stand the status quo of her ishy marriage to a serial philanderer. She arranged to work with Andrew on the book which would become Diana, Her True Story. Because Morton and Diana couldn't be seen together, and he certainly couldn't openly interview her, they worked out a system where he would write down questions and she would record herself answering the questions and telling her story. The tapes were then transferred to Morton via one of Diana's close friends. Those tapes have been around for a long time and they've been used in many documentaries over the years. I don't know if Morton owns the tape per se, but he certainly made the tapes available to certain producers and documentary filmmakers. Well, they're dusting off the tapes again. Love Monday TV and 53 Degrees Global are producing Diana, The Unheard Truth, that's the working title, a 3-part docuseries centered on 5 hours of audio recordings of Diana that have never been made public, with the series set to launch on August the 31st, 2027, the 30th anniversary of her death. The recordings were captured in 1991 by Dr. James Colhurst, a close friend of the princess. The tapes were covertly removed from Kensington Palace and delivered to author Andrew Morton, whose resulting biography, Diana, Her True Story, altered the course of royal history. In the 3 decades since Diana died, fewer than 1 hour of the material had been heard publicly. Love Monday TV has secured full access to the archive in partnership with Morton and Colhurst, who also appear in the series alongside producer Michael O'Mara. All three visited the circumstances under which Morton's book was produced, including the risk Diana took and the intense scrutiny all three endured in the process. The tapes cover Diana's account of life with the royal family, her predictions about the futures of Charles and Camilla, and her own ambitions for a life independent of the crown. Further contributors include former schoolmates, a hairdresser, an astrologer, a dancer, former bodyguard, Royal Press Secretary Dickie Arbiter. Oh my God. Dickie Donkey Sanctuary Arbiter got called to be part of this documentary when he's a straight up liar. Royal photographer Kent Gavin, and Daily Fail journalist Richard Kay. Oh my goodness. I mean, they've got a few rats in the cooking right there. I don't know how they'll be able to twist Diana's words, but they'll try and find a way. Okay, so they're playing fast and loose, but they do note that fewer than 1 hour of the material had been heard publicly. As I said, the existence of the tapes has been known for decades and clips have been used in many other programs. But it's interesting that Morton and James have apparently agreed to open up their full archive so that Diana's own words and her voice can be preserved in some way. I'm interested to see what Diana said in 1991 about Camilla in particular, and if Diana spoke about any of Charles's other mistresses at the time. Diana was well aware of many of them. I mean, how many did he have? Next year is the 30th anniversary of Diana's death, and I imagine there will be many, many documentaries and special programs made. There's been a rumor for years that Netflix wants to make a Diana documentary with Harry's help. Possibly even with Harry producing. I don't know if that would happen, but as I said, it's been a rumor going around. Oh dear. Oh, it'd be interesting to hear. Lotta, you said, didn't you people see Camilla in New York trying to be Princess Diana? I've never seen Camilla in New York before. I mean, I'm not surprised that they did New York because it's somewhere where Harry and Meghan go often. I mean, yes, it's one of the big cities in the US. Anyway, this whole tour, waste of time. Let me scroll down your comments a little bit. Helen, you said, did you see the king in Bermuda? He was shaking hands with the crowd and deliberately did not shake any black people's hands, including children, today. I have not seen those clips or pictures, but is it the first time Charles has been seen going down a whole crowd and not shaking black people's hands? No. This is something that's actually been picked up on a few times. The thing is, I don't watch Charles's engagements enough to know if this is something that happens super regularly and he actually does shake people of color's hands, or if it just happens to be in these particular clips and in these particular moments that he doesn't shake people of color's hands. Dorothy, you said you were in the city and there was no traffic. He had others, not just Camilla. And Camilla still wanted to be there. She wanted to be the last side chick standing. Oh yeah, I've heard. Oh yes, Kanga, the one that died mysteriously. Didn't she like fall out of a window or something? Okay. All right, that's that. I'm gonna leave things there. Thank you as always, everyone. Please remember to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe button and YouTube's apparently new hype button on your way out to let the algorithm know that we are here. Links in the bio if you want to donate to the channel, please. All your donations help, of course. But I'm just grateful you are here and we are in May. A new month has started, fresh beginnings, warmer weather. I mean, I'm in the tropics, so it's warm period. But for those of you who are in 4-season countries, warmer weather. Get some sun, get some vitamin D, go outside and touch grass. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll catch up tomorrow. Ciao.